Welcome to Bay Area Sports Report, and today we will be going over day 6 of 49ers training camp. Today was not exactly a good day for the 49ers, specifically on injuries and on defense. As you know, two new signings, Titus Leo and Kahili Herbert. As Titus Leo was the newest player on the team, he's very young. He's not a bad player, but he's a very young player, but he doesn't show a lot of stats. I mean, 2024. But other than that, he hasn't shown that much. He's more of that Ronaldo height. Not with that, the 49ers have also signed Kahil Herbert for the 49ers, as the 49ers are dealing with a bunch of injuries right now. This one I'm kind of excited on because I'm happy on because he was very solid for the Chicago Bears through 2023, but then after that he's been kind of moving back and forth different teams. So yeah, overall, two signings, they're not bad, I guess. But here's Kahili, here's Debo Samuel here practicing on his wide receiver. As you can see here, he's practicing on his throws as he's practicing right now. Here's Debo Samuel back with Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner, or Dre Greenlaw and Debo Samuel, two enforcers. I really love seeing that with them. Here's Kahili Herbert running the drills. He's wearing number 40 for the 49ers. And here is Ronaldo Green. As it shows, Ronaldo Green dominated his reps during one-on-one drills today. Per Noah Fatale has looked really good in camp so far. I think this is very good for the 49ers because you need a solid cornerback for Ronaldo Green. And today was a very good day for cornerbacks this training camp today. But I think he's been very good lately. He stopped a lot of the receivers, but mostly because none of them are like the matching level of like Mike Evans and dribbling. I'll get to the injuries a bit later, but so far so good for Ronaldo. He's having a great training camp, and I think he is gonna be that CP2 because he's just that good, and I think Shanahan just chewing him. I think it's just tough love. I don't think they're just gonna bench him, especially for Jack Jones, who's I looked at the stats earlier for like when he started. His QB rating's like not good at all, compared to Ronaldo Green, who was like the number one best at that. So I rather prefer Ronaldo Green over Jack Jones all day. Like sure he is a good cornerback. I won't lie. I was happy with the signing, but I'm just fine with him just being a special teams guy or just be like a backup for like probably like one or two plays, and then after that just replace him. But I'm fine with Ronald Green. George Kittle is still continuing the rehab. I don't think he's still gonna return to week one. As much as I love to, but as much as I love to do that, I think he's just gonna be ready by week two probably because I could just live with Jake Tonjes. I think he's fine. But so far so good. He's like happy. He's enjoying it. He's like not like even caring, but he's running a lot of good routes and glad he's getting better. But I don't think he needs to return like week one. I think it's a bit too much. But I think he can return week two against the Miami Dolphins, which I'm very excited on. And I can't wait to see what the 49ers do on that on on him returning. Debo Samuel still running some plays here, as you can see. Here are the other receivers too. Watkins, you can see Wesley Grimes, you can see Demarcus Robinson also. Let me go back to Debo one. You can see Debo and D-Rob running the routes together so far. I think it's very exciting to see that. Debo Samuel, as you can see, the receivers, and I'll get to the injuries later. But it's very good that he's there. You can see Jane Duggar also working with the defensive end group. He did play a lot of defensive end, safety, and linebacker. So he played safety the first year in his college. Then he played defensive end, and now he's playing linebacker. So I don't mind him being there. So I think I would rather prefer him to be linebacker because I think it's important, but because I think that's the position he's stuck with for a while. But I wouldn't mind if he played defensive end or safety. I wouldn't mind that. So Good news is Kyle Shanahan addressed the team after today's session, slowly getting back to 100%. I feel happy that Shanahan is starting to feel a little bit better, appearing in training camp, and starting to feel better from his car crash, so at least that is something. And I'm glad that he is addressing the team. He's switching to what he used to do, so I'm glad that he is returning back to that. So I'm glad for that for him. Here's Brock Purdy running some drills, throwing some passes. And then there's Christian McCaffrey, still looking good as usual. He's looking good. Here's some of the other running backs running some drills right now. You can see McCormick, Patrick Taylor Jr., McCormick. You can see Kahili Herbert there. And then the final thing I want to show is that according to what Jair says Raheem Moore's defense fits his skill set better than any scheme he's played in since arriving in San Francisco. If that's true, the faithful could be in for a breakout season for Brown. I've been criticizing Brown, and it's not because I don't like him. It's just he's just been breaking coverages. He's been not been very good at tackling sometimes. That's the reason why I don't really trust him right now. That's why I really don't trust on what he's doing right now. That's why I don't trust him. But overall, I mean, I really don't. I mean, if they do believe that he's gonna be doing good, then I guess I won't mind, and I think it's fine with me. I think I'm okay with that. So I think I'm okay with that overall. So I think it's fine overall. But hopefully he has a breakout season, and I can't wait for that. And hopefully he turns out to be a good safety with good coverage, and so. As you can see, Dejon's dribbling is working off the side field, working his way back from hamstring tightness. You can see Christian Kirk. You can see Dejon's dribbling with his vest on. You can see him running around. He looks pretty okay right now. He looks fine in my view, but I'm not the trainer, so. As for the players, the defense had a good day. Romello Height, one-on-one rep against Trent Williams, which is very impressive because Trent has been very solid, especially at his age of 37, which is very surprising and very good for a running back or for a defensive end, which is very impressive, but mostly because Bosa it can't practice on one-on-ones right now, so it's very good on that. He also stopped a run also, which is very good also. So it's great to see him improving on that. He looks like he could have double digit sacks, which I believe on that, but maybe like third down or second down or um maybe in the even first down possibly maybe. As for the cornerbacks, they had a great training camp. Leandro Noor, Ronaldo Green, Prysock, Jacob Robinson. They all had great jobs at deflecting the passes, getting some picks, getting rid of the passes. So it's impressive for all the cornerbacks. It's very good that they're doing good, but mostly because they're not facing top tier players, which I will get to on the injuries later. But they did a very good job, good pass breakups. I love Jacob Robinson. He came out of BYU. He injured his arm, and it looks like he's coming off where he was. I really thought he was gonna be part of the roster, and the 49ers loved him last year. It's just he kind of got injured, and unfortunately, he was entered into IR. And I can't wait to see what he does. He could be in practice squad because the cornerback room is now stacked, as you can see. Jack Jones is there. You have Nate Hobbs. You have Prysock. Like, this is a stacked room for the 49ers. So I don't think that he could make it onto the roster, but maybe like he could come in like let's say they don't sign Nate Hobbs or they don't sign Jack Jones back, then maybe they could put him back into the roster because I could see him being a special teams guy and I could see him on the roster next year. So I like what he's done. Ephesians Prysock, he looks like he could make it onto the roster. I believe that because with Jack Jones and Nate Hobbs and Ephesians Prysock with Nate Hobbs. And I love what he's done. He's been such a great player. He's been very awesome for the 49ers. He has been a solid cornerback. He hasn't gotten a lot of picks. He only had one pick last season, but he's been very good for the 49ers, and I can't wait for him to keep on improving and being on this team. So I can't wait for that. As for Ronaldo Green and DeAndre Noir, still dominant as usual. They gave up Ronaldo Green impressively, like I showed. He then gave up any passes on his one on ones, which is very good. DeAndre Noir also kind of didn't give up. He sticked with Debo Samuel on his route, and then he broke up a pass with another receiver. So this is good so far for the cornerbacks room to see that they don't need help right now, and I like that they're improving very good. Jair Brown, like I mentioned, he was also one of the winners. He stopped Jake Tonges with a route and broke it up, but he's not very good against fast tight ends or like fast receivers. So that's the reason why I kind of am skeptical about him. But I mean, I really don't mind him being the starter, but as long as he can just improve and on his coverage and do the same thing he did last season and get picks, then I think I'm fine with that. I just hope that he can improve on his coverage. That's all I'm asking for them to fix. So, as for Brock Purdy and Curtis, as for Brock Purdy, he did very good. He kept the ball conservative, but he couldn't find a lot of players because because he's mostly been injured mostly because he's been like not he's not been throwing the ball that like put that zip in that ball, or he has punched too much. But he's been very conservative, but he hasn't found a lot of targets, mostly because he doesn't have a lot of people. He could trust only like Robinson and McCaffrey and Debo right now. So that's not a lot of weapons. So hopefully those weapons that he has can come back. So hopefully they can come back for the 49ers. But yeah. Curtis Rourke also been pretty good. He's threw a nice pass to Jake Tonges. So can't wait for him to see how he looks in training in preseason. Can't wait to see how that goes for him because it's going to be very awesome to see him back on there. I think he has a chance to be. They could have three quarterbacks on the team. I really don't see him being a practice squad guy. So I could see him possibly starting for the 40 or possibly be that third string for the 49ers. So I can't wait for that. So, but as we get to the injuries, Mikali Kamara, who yesterday suffered an injury, had a torn ACL after they waived and injured him on Sunday, which is ridiculous. It's just sad to see that. Just to see him. He had a lot of potential. Mikali Kamara, I loved what he did in college in Indiana, and just sucks that he has an ACL. But it just keeps on getting worse. As Caleb Black will not practice due to a adductor injury, which is kind of a fancy word for I think a groin injury or a sprain. I think, which I think he could bounce back from that. He should be fine. I think, hopefully. So I think he should be fine. Dejon Stribling, as you saw, he had hamstring tightness, but the good news is he is day to day with hamstring tightness, so that is the good news. So that is at least a good thing for the 49ers, but Dejon Stribling and Kalen Black, it's just disappointing to see that they both have injuries, but they should be able to rebound back, hopefully, because Jordan James is also injured also, and then the receiver core after Stribling, you have Debo, you have Robinson, you have Watkins, you have Cowan, you have Turner, and then you have Irwin also. You also have Wesley Grimes. So that's not a lot of options that you could trust on right now. So hopefully they come back later. Mike Evans is also not practicing due to a quad strain, which is very bad. And a lot of people are saying, oh, he's going to be out for the rest of the weeks. But I just received a report that has a very minor quad strain, and it is not considered serious. So the good news is on that, it should be fine. He should be fine overall for the 49ers. I think he'll be okay for the 49ers. He should be back healthy. So, I don't think this is very serious. I think he should be fine. Tomorrow will be a rest day for the 49ers. So hopefully we could get Dejon Stribling back. Hopefully we could get some other players back like Malik Mustafa or maybe some other players that are there. So hopefully we can get those players back. And then Fred Warner and Nick Martin both had momentary injury scares at practice. They both were able to shake it off and complete practice. Which I'm very sick of this, man, because both of these guys, they're my favorite linebackers with Dre Greenlaw, and I really don't want them to get more injuries. I already have enough in my plate, and I want to show this last thing as the 49ers have ranked among the NFL's 10 most injured teams in 12 of the last 13 seasons. After 5 training camp practices, the injuries are already adding up. Let me read this list. Mike Evans, quad. Dejon Stribling, hamstring. Ricky Pearsall, knee. Christian Kirk, calf. Jordan James, rib. Kalen Black, adductor. McCallie Kamara, knee. Keon White, adductor. I didn't even realize that he got an injury also. I didn't realize that. This is just new to me. Mount Mustafa, hamstring. Vidarian low ankle. Grayson Halton, knee bruise. Andrew Farmer, back. Kyle Shanahan, car accident. George Kittle, Achilles. And Brandon Ayuk, reserve list. Okay, so overall, though, like Mike Evans and Dejon Stribling, I don't really think they're serious, so I think they should be fine. Kalen Black, I think he should be fine. Keon White should be fine. Mac Mustafa should be fine. I think Grayson Halton should be fine. So, overall, most of these, like, some of these are okay. Kyle Shanahan should be coming back, so overall they should be, but it's just disappointing, especially through 5 days of training camp, now actually 6 now. So it's just sad to see that. And also I just saw this recently earlier as Cameron Sample also has an injury with a knee injury. Which is it's just sad to see this, and I'm just upset that the 49ers are just having these injuries. Hopefully they could just return and be healthy. Maybe move the practice field. Look, I'm not believing in the substation rumors. I'm not believing in that, but I'm just saying, like, being cautious at least. At least be cautious. At least try to practice it in a different field and see, like, oh, then that way they'll lay, like, oh, well, this isn't the substation. Well, like, we already have injuries from that, so maybe just try to prove to them that, or fire Dustin Little and his entire training staff who are trash at injuries. Like, I'm sorry, like, I'm just mad at this, and it's just disappointing to just see them being injured this much. Like fix something at least. Just check the substation again, or at least fire your training staff. Do something, anything at least, or practice in one of the stadiums. Like, there's 2 college football stadiums that you could just practice at. So, like, this is just ridiculous, and hopefully the 49ers can just rebound back from this, but I don't know. It's looking pretty bad right now, but a lot of these injuries, they don't look serious, but some of them actually do. So we'll see how this goes, and yeah, that's it for today. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and comment down below on what you think of day 6 of training camp. And this is Bay Area Sports Report, signing off.